The cargo bay doors stood open to Kestrel Anchorage. Beyond them, freight vehicles crawled across the docking platform beneath harsh white work lights. Crates of ammunition, packaged armor plating, food containers, coolant drums, medical supplies, and replacement machine parts moved steadily toward the Wayfarer. The commander stood beneath the ship's forward hull with a clipboard held against one forearm. He checked the manifest without speaking. Food stores, aboard. Medical supplies, aboard. Small arms locker, sealed. Battle mech ammunition, still loading. Replacement actuator assembly, delayed. That last entry received a line beneath it. Not a complaint. Not yet. Above him, the Wayfarer rested against the station's docking cradle. Its old hull marked by repairs made under several previous owners. The ship was not beautiful. Its armor did not match in several places, and one of its maneuvering thrusters had been purchased from a scrapyard less than a month earlier. It was, however, his, for now. A warning tone sounded as another cargo hauler reversed toward the bay. Nadia Keel walked beside it, arguing with the driver about the weight listed on the shipping invoice. Chief Brandt stood near the battle mech cradle, watching Lena Marr inspect a cable connection for the third time. "You checked it already," Brandt called. "I know." "Then why are you checking it again?" "Because you told me never to trust the first inspection." Brandt stared at her for a moment. "Fine, check it again." The commander marked another box on the clipboard. Across the platform, Captain Venn approached with Mara Voss beside him. Venn looked up at the ship, then at the commander. "Dockmaster wants us gone in 40 minutes, he said. "Apparently we are occupying space reserved for someone capable of paying their fees. How much do we owe?" Voss answered before Venn could. "Enough that leaving now is financially preferable." The commander looked down at the remaining entries. 1 actuator assembly, 2 ammunition crates, 3 crew members not yet aboard. He turned toward the station entrance. "We leave when the list is complete." Venn exhaled through his nose. "That," he said, "is going to become expensive." The commander made no response. He merely waited as the final cargo crossed the platform, while beneath them Urjala turned slowly in the darkness. There was still no mercenary company. Not yet. Only 13 people, 1 pilot, 1 battle mech, 1 old ship, and 500,000 sea bills standing between them and failure. The name would come later after the docking clamps released, after Urjala fell behind them, and after the crew understood what they had collectively agreed to become. And it would not be the commander who chose it. The final actuator assembly arrived 23 minutes before the docking deadline, carried on a flatbed by 2 station workers who looked as if they had been threatened into hurrying. Chief Brandt inspected the serial plate, wiped away a layer of packing grease, and gave the commander a reluctant nod. The part was old, refurbished twice, and technically intended for industrial machinery rather than a battle mech, but the mounting points matched closely enough to justify keeping it. The commander marked the last delayed item as received, then turned the page to the crew manifest. One by one, the remaining names were checked as they crossed into the ship. Dr. Wren carried his own medical case. Ram Tiller arrived with 2 communications consoles that had not appeared on the cargo invoice. Jonas Pike dragged a duffel bag behind him, while Ren Tall carried nothing at all. Nadja Keel stopped beside the commander and looked over his shoulder at the clipboard. That everything? Everything we paid for. That is not what I asked. He looked toward the cargo bay, where the deck crew were securing the final crates. It is everything we have. Keel considered that answer, then gave a quiet laugh. That sounds more accurate. An alarm sounded once from the station wall. 5 minutes until the docking cradle began charging additional fees. Captain Ven's voice came over the external speaker. All personnel aboard. Commander, unless you plan to fly beside us, I suggest you come inside. The commander signed the station's release form, handed the dock official the copy, and walked beneath the ship's hull for what might be the last time. He stopped before entering the cargo ramp and looked back across Kestrel Anchorage. Welders flashed against distant hulls. Freight crews shouted over machinery. Soldiers in unfamiliar uniforms moved toward another departure gate. Somewhere beyond the station's armor, governments were moving borders across maps and calling it order. He had no flag painted on his ship, no noble patron, and no guarantee that the people aboard would still be with him by the end of the month. He stepped inside anyway.